Okay, hi, it's Angela Hughes, luxury travel entrepreneur, and I am adding Mary to the screen, who I was worried was not showing up.
Sorry, I was having problems over there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. We were actually live. I was just getting on to say, we were having technical difficulties. So, but you're back, you're here. So, welcome to the show. I'm Angela Hughes, a luxury travel entrepreneur. I'm so excited today as part of our Luxury Travel University series to have Mary Trotter here with Crystal Cruises. And I know that you're going to maybe feel like you're in the hot seat today because I know some people have some questions out there.
Sure.
And so we don't want to put you in the hot seat. We just want to talk about what is hot today. And so welcome to the show today. We've been doing these, like twice a week right now. It's so exciting. We've had so many great vendors on here, not only to introduce their product, because I've got consumers watching as well, but also over 1,800 agents on a group that follows me as part of our Luxury Travel University to help people grow their luxury travel segment. So do you want to just introduce yourself, Mary? Mary's my neighbor from across the lake. And we didn't even know that until we got together maybe a couple months ago. So
Absolutely. So I'm Mary Trotter. I'm the SBDM for Crystal Cruises. I did cover just Florida, but I've gathered some extra states over the last few months. So I have Illinois, Indiana as well. And then currently I'm helping anybody that's in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. That's new. So we do have a couple of salespeople on furlough. So I've kind of stepped in to help in those situations. But I've been with Crystal almost a year now.
Okay. So, and you were originally with Mark Travel before. So you have a long history. So, okay, let's get into it.
Sure.
Question number one. Everybody wants to know the dying question. Is Crystal surviving or dying? Which is so funny because, everybody saw that parent company announcement, and even I was like, oh, this could not be true. So can you just set all of the viewers straight, like right now, what's going on with
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely hard whenever, we're in the travel industry, we're not in the financial world. So a lot of times when things come out, like the statement that came out, you're like, oh, what does that mean? It means failure. Basically, there was a statement that came out almost a month ago now that just talked about some things that were happening with our parent company, Genting Hong Kong, over in China. And we are going through a financial restructure. So the financial restructure is to keep Crystal Cruises in operation. So the important thing to note is Crystal Cruises is not going out of business. I know in those original things that people saw that came out in those articles, it was talking about creditors are not, going to be paid. It was a financial restructure. They had to meet with the creditors, talk about how they were going to repay things. But that does not affect refunds. It does not affect commissions. Those are still being processed. They are still being taken care of. So Crystal's still here. We're ready to go. We are really, really looking forward to, hopefully, everyone, we're crossing our fingers that we can start cruising again in January. That's always up to the CDC and what they tell us to do, basically. But yeah, we're still here and ready to go.
So as far as Crystal goes, I know, second question, and you guys can post questions right to the side. You don't need to go out to StreamYard and give your name. I can still, like it says in the text above, you can just post your question. I'll see it and you can ask Mary. I know a question that lots of agents have right now is our commission coming in? And then we're going to move to the good stuff after that. Because it's been like 500 years and we haven't received our commission, and will we get paid? The biggest questions right out of the shoe, and then we're going to move on to the other stuff. So
sure. So commissions, I know it's been a struggle. Things have shifted once coronavirus hit as far as the way commissions are paid out, and just because we had so many cancellations happening. So we have gone to paying out commission after the original sale date. And that's where there's been some confusion. I had an agent contact me last week. They said, hey, I have a cruise, haven't seen my commission yet. I went to look at their reservation. That cruise wasn't even supposed to sail to October or November. So we haven't hit the original sale date yet. So yes, they are owed commission. we haven't hit that date yet. And it is taking some time. I
Mhm.
can't tell you the time frame because quite honestly, I don't know. I wish I did, but it is definitely taking some time, but it is after the sale date. We're seeing somewhere between 60 and 90 days after. So it's just a shift that we had to make as far as paying out commissions from what people were used to.
Okay, so that's going to make a lot of viewers today feel a lot more comfortable, who feel like they're in dire straits right now.
Yes, no, I totally understand.
You
Yes.
knew when you were coming on live, we were going to ask you some of the tough questions today.
Absolutely.
This will help kind of, level the playing field for everybody, who just felt so much anxiety from that original press release, don't you think?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely, that was a difficult week. We were not aware of what was going to come out in the news because, Genting Hong Kong owns a lot of things. So we don't always hear what's happening with Genting Hong Kong. But, that came out. Quite honestly, I think we were all just as surprised as everybody else to see that statement. And what does that mean? How do we respond to that? So if you ever need the official statement regarding that or our official statement regarding refunds, so you can send that out to your clients. Feel free to reach out to me. I am more than happy to get that sent to you. It has really, really helped a lot of advisors as they're trying to navigate this and explain why refunds are taking a while and people are seeing, all the stuff in the news. This really does help a lot of advisors by sending that statement to their clients to help them feel at ease.
Okay, so we have a couple thousand people in the luxury travel group. And then I've also got my own consumer group with several thousand on it. And I'm actually streaming live to that right now as well. So I want to know what is super hot with Crystal, because I think a lot of us put you guys on the back burner thinking like, do not play with Crystal anymore. And you're helping us feel a little bit better about that. So tell us what's hot.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're very excited to get going, to get moving again. Expedition, just some things that changed. The thing we're really, really excited about was we were supposed to launch our Crystal Endeavor, our first expedition. Polar class ship was supposed to launch in August. The shipyard had to close because of coronavirus. We were already well ahead of schedule, but we wanted to make sure that we still, gave some time so to make sure everything, in case we continue to get delayed. So now we have moved, we've resumed operations on the Crystal Endeavor, and she's going to launch in May now. So we did have to move her almost a year for that launch, but we're really excited about the Endeavor coming out. So that's, a really exciting thing for us at this time. The yacht, because the yacht is so small, we have just 64 guests on the Esprit. That particular vessel is just filling up very, very quickly. So the Esprit has been incredibly popular. We have people that are booking. We can only take groups of 10 rooms on the yacht because there's only 31 suites. So we do have to limit it because we don't want, them to take over the whole. If they're going to take over the whole ship, then they can charter the whole ship. But we do limit it. But I have had several groups over the last couple of weeks that have booked for 2021 on the Esprit. So that's been very popular among the advisors that I've been working with.
Okay, so on that, because we're a university per se, my own made up university that I consult to. I want to just talk about some marketing strategies for this group. How in particular are those agencies building and growing that market share, especially during COVID?
Yeah, definitely. For a lot of them, a lot of the groups that I have worked with for the Esprit, they had larger groups that were on larger ships. So they were maybe on one of our competitors that had a really large ship, or I had one group that was on the Serenity, and they just began talking to their guests and they were feeling a little uncomfortable. So they talked about the option of, okay, you know what? Let's move you into a little bit more personal experience, but with a lot less people, on a great in a very different experience by going on the yacht. So that's been where I've seen a lot of transition, taking those groups that were going to be on a much larger ship. Let's make them feel a little bit more comfortable by going on a smaller ship.
So, and the strategy I think that really ingrained in my head right here in my own family room was that crystal's actually way more affordable than a lot of agents think. I mean, really, when you add up the value, let's talk about the value, because I think this is really important for agents to know how to sell value instead of price. And I've been in the business since I was a kid, and I used to always think crystal's so up here. And for a long time, we didn't sell any crystal because it just seemed like it was unaffordable for our market when we were in Utah. But it's not unaffordable, actually. It's quite affordable when you start adding everything up. So can you talk a little bit about the strategy of helping people understand how you guys come to that final price?
Sure, absolutely. So, I mean, each of our experiences are different. With our yacht, because we're kind of talking about that, with the yacht, everything is included. So you've got your gratuities, you've got your food, your drinks, your champagnes, wine, everything that you would want there. Wi-Fi is included. And on the yacht, your shore excursions are all included. So you can do 2 shore excursions a day, complimentary. That's taken care of. We also have on the yacht a marina platform that has, the jet skis and a 2-person submersible and kayaks. All of that is included as well. So it's funny because I was working with an agent a few weeks ago, and she was trying to really sell someone on the Esprit. And she's like, Mary, hey, can you help me? Like, can I offer shipboard credit? What can I do? And I'm like, but what would they use the shipboard credit on? Because there's nothing for them to use the shipboard credit. Right. It's all taken care of. So on the Esprit, on that yacht experience, I mean, everything truly is included there. On our river cruises, most of your shore excursions are included. You don't have the things like the kayak and stuff because you're on European rivers, but again, all those inclusions. So there's just so much included. With our ocean voyages, it's a little bit different because your shore excursions aren't included, but you've still got your drinks, you've still got your Wi-Fi, you've still got your gratuities all included. So when you really look at how much people are spending, I remember I was an agent for many, many years, and I'd have people all the time, they'd go and they'd book what they thought was a really great price on a cruise. And I would say to them, I mean, yeah, you could go there, but think about how much money you're going to spend on your drinks. And then they would get off their cruise and they're like, I spent $1,000 on drinks during this cruise. Or, I went and did this class on board, or I did that on board. I did a wine tasting and that added up. All those things are included on Crystal. So when you really look at the value, there's just so much for the value.
How can a new agent who hasn't sold a lot of luxury move from mass market, Royal Caribbean, NCL, even Carnival, how can they move into this market share better?
Definitely. I've talked to a lot of people about that recently because I think that as we've gone,
kind of trendy right now to sell more luxury. Yeah, obviously it's trendy because we've had a 40% a week growth in this group of people who want to join this group to learn strategies. And so we see that everybody's trying to dive into this market.
Absolutely. And I think it's a matter of, there's smaller ships, a lot more space per guest. So, those are things you need to focus on. When you look at your clients and you look at your client pack that's out there, I'm so sorry. I have a dog in the background. Sorry about that.
It's the at-home experience.
It is.
But it's not my kids yelling in the background because that's
So when you look at that luxury experience and all the stuff that is included in that, there's just so much that you can share with people. You've got those people that have been on those mass markets, and you've got to look at your segments. So if you've got people that are constantly booking suites, you've got people that are constantly wanting to upgrade. You've got that. I was just speaking with a agency the other day about how to move into that luxury market, and they have a lot of families that do multi-generational trips, and the grandparents are paying for these trips for their entire family. So they're going to market to the grandparents. Like, why are we not marketing to those grandparents now, to help them go on a vacation, maybe just the two of them? So, that's a great strategy as well. I mean, really the thing is focus on the personal experience, focus on the value of the cruise, find those people that always want to upgrade, that always want that personal experience. I've been talking a lot about with the yacht. I mean, the yacht is a very exclusive experience. You've got all of those people out there that it's all about the best Instagram photo. How can I be more relevant? And I can't think of a better place to really show, hey, look how exclusive I am. Look how cool I am by being on the Crystal Esprit, because only 62 other people, only 62 people are on this ship. So, don't be afraid to focus in that market with the Esprit, because that's a really great opportunity as well. I think people.
Funny that you say that, because I'm actually an adjunct professor for Brigham Young University, and I teach a tourism class this semester.
Okay.
So long story short, taught for several years right out of graduate school, then went back to selling. This year, I'm back on the docket virtually because they're virtual, and they asked me to teach. Yesterday, I just showed my class how Instagram, it was a YouTube video about how Instagram really is an influencer for the tourism industry. And it was a 30-minute roundtable on it. And so that was literally worked right into our lecture, because that is such a key ingredient people want. Yeah. I mean, they said places like Sharon Noble, even that have had accidents, have become 20% more popular because people have Instagrammed about it now. Nobody ever wanted to go to Sharon Noble as part of a vacation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So what she's saying is true. That's just not like kind of, a thing that she's throwing out there. People really want that moment. So
they do. I was, my daughter got into kayaking during coronavirus, bought a kayak, and on Instagram, she's like, I gotta go, where's this place? Mom, where's this place? And she sends me this picture, and it's like a salt, I think it's in Utah, like this salt lake thing.
Yeah, that's right by my house. Well, not my house, but the salt flats, right?
Yeah, it's illegal to kayak there, but like,
that's a great salt lake.
I want to go. And I'm like, because you saw it on Instagram a bunch of times. So so it really does affect so much, and everybody wants to be at the cool place, cool new thing to do. And there's just, the great thing about Crystal is that we are going to so many different places. I mean, our yacht, we're going into places that a lot of larger cruise ships can't go into. So sell a new experience where they can go into a port that they can't get to in a large cruise ship. Yeah. It's all about getting to different ports. Our ocean cruises, we're not just Caribbean back and forth every single week. We are all over the world constantly. So it's a really great experience, as you've got these people that are seeing all these great places in social media. Help them get there. Let them book something on the Esprit, or get something in a very different destination on one of our ocean voyages. So it's a really great opportunity to really focus and find those places that people are really looking at on social media, and help them find that through a luxury cruise line.
Right. I know that different consortiums have put out, so here's hot seat question number 3. I know different consortiums have put out like, hey, be careful with Crystal right now. Shortly after that publication came out, obviously it seems like you guys are moving forward. You guys, I mean, the biggest thing for me is that you're still employed. Generally, when we see a company, financially in ruins, their sales.
They're not going to keep their sales team.
Yeah. And that's what's so puzzling for me. I was like, well, let's see, Mary's still working. I still see her online. Yep. Or she's still going to her office every day. Are consortia standing behind Crystal still? I know Virtuoso had sent out a letter. Do you still have the teams behind you?
We do. There were definitely some difficult statements that came out before we put out a statement. And it was a lot of speculation. And I know some of the consortia, they've backed off a little bit on some of their statements that came out. But we do have some really strong partners that are, really standing behind us with the consortia. So yes, they're there. I think there are some consortia that are out there that are a little bit hesitant, a little bit, pulled back, but there are some that are just full speed ahead. So it really just depends on which one you talk to on which way it is. And I think as we move closer to sailing again and they see some things that we put in place, I think people will begin to feel more comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that I'm all over the board today. Let's go back to those newer or less experienced agents that just need a place to start with you guys. How does someone even get started? And I guess I'm not looking for the elementary answers, but
right.
How does someone make marketing strides in selling your product?
I mean,
you can go out to the website. Everybody can sign up for whatever, program you've got.
You can sign up for Crystal Academy. You can do all those things.
But how does someone really make strides? Because I think the question that I get literally every time I do one of these, somebody will put in, but how do I find that person, to buy this?
Yeah.
How do I grow?
The big thing is, and again, like back to that social media piece, prior to coronavirus, I was meeting with an advisor and very successful with mainstream cruising, very successful in selling all inclusive. And I met with him and he said, I realized I'm not marketing myself for what I want to sell.
Amen.
Because he has a next door neighbor that booked a Crystal River cruise. And the neighbor had no idea that he could sell crystal. I mean, it just wasn't anything he ever talked about. Right. He didn't market himself as luxury. So if you are going to sell crystal, if you're going to sell luxury, you have to put some things out there. You can't just throw a random post about a sale about crystal one time or once a week. You have to build a brand around luxury so that people know that that's something you do. If you just throw here's a random sale, here's another random sale, they're like, oh, that's just one of the many things in their bucket that they can sell. They don't think of you, they don't automatically think, oh, Angela is luxury. So it's really about branding yourself and marketing yourself as that. And we have, great tools within our partner resource center. You can go and pull all of our flyers. You can pull photos. We have a marketing program that you can go in and pull some posts for social media. You can always take anything that we have on the Crystal Cruises Facebook page or Instagram page, share that out. We're doing a lot of Crystal at home. We're still doing that. We started it very early on. We're one of the first ones to go with that virtual type thing.
These are delicious.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
We do our Sunday cooking with one of our chefs, John Ashton. He posts the recipe on Tuesdays. You can go out and get all of the items so that you can cook along with him on Sunday. On Wednesdays, we always share really beautiful destinations. On Thursdays, we share a cocktail from the ships. So we really are trying to keep people engaged. If you're really looking for a lot of photos and things, on Saturdays, we have guests that share all kinds of photos from voyages that they've done on Crystal. So on Saturdays, you can always go on and grab, because people are tagging Crystal Cruises, you can go on and grab some photos and feel free to share those out, because, it's all about letting people know that this is something that you can sell and something you're passionate about.
Yeah, one thing it's more of taking it from their resources, using social media, but also throwing it into your newsletter and sending it out, because
Absolutely.
I'll throw out this video, not particularly this one because it's more agency based, but a Crystal video. I will then talk about our relationship with you. I'll probably grab your photo off. Yep. Then at the very bottom, I'll probably add that shrimp ceviche recipe. The whole newsletter is a little bit themed, and maybe my opening, paragraph might be on yachts or something, just a paragraph about this. I love what you said, that people need to know that your brand is luxury. And I have been talking about that in this group, it seems like forever. In fact, I'm privately consulting many agents in this group in 1 hour blocks, and they're paying for that, but how to grow their luxury travel brand. And so I think there's like such a huge need for everything you're saying. It goes further than just posting it out there and leaving it there. You got to be talking it, walking it, sharing. You sell luxury travel. And if you sell at Disney, that's fine too. I just, right when I was, sitting in this chit chat today, someone texted me and said, can you get me down to Disney? Yeah. And we'll get that trip done for her as well, because you're still going to have, I don't know if there is any agency that's 100% luxury. You're still going to have to sell mass market stuff, because some of your people are still going to buy that.
Absolutely. I mean, you have different segments, and the biggest thing that I see so many agents do is they want to sell out of their own pocketbook, and they think to themselves, oh, I don't think that I don't think this client can afford Crystal. But you don't know what they can or cannot afford. I mean, there could be someone that is a millionaire that you have no idea is a millionaire because, they're just living a different kind of life. I mean, I've been around plenty of people. My dad, is in a retirement community, and you're around people and you listen to them talk, and they're like, and I use this coupon and I go shop here, and you look at them and you think, oh, they really don't have much money. And then you find out, wow, they're actually quite wealthy. They don't always live that way, but they go on trips. They're going to go on a luxury trip. They're going to go on Crystal. That's where they are. So don't make assumptions about your clients and what their level is for traveling. So just, make sure, offer it. If you have to ask the right questions. You have to see, how do they like to travel? And help them to find the right thing, because you may be sending somebody and putting them on a suite on Norwegian, and it's really not the best fit for them. So really make sure you ask all the right questions, and don't be afraid to offer up Crystal as an option.
Yeah, Wendy, my viewers just mentioned, don't sell out of your own pocketbook, which you did. I think that's going to be, I think I'm going to use that phrase like 1,000 times now in the future. So, okay. Let's talk about your guesses of what's to come. Can we really?
Yeah, I mean, so we've actually put a lot of things in place, and I think people miss some of the stuff. We've put out a lot of protocols for how we're going to approach things moving forward. So if you go to the crystalcruises.com website, at the top, we've had for months now the advisory alert that's been there. This is what's been canceled. This is, these are our policies. But right next to that now is Crystal Clean Plus. Those are our protocols that we're putting in place, and actually coming, I think sometime next week, we're hoping it's going to come out. We're going to have a whole new hub that's going to have information about what we're doing moving forward. I mean, obviously we've reduced capacity, even though we already had a lot of space per guest. Yeah. We've reduced capacity even further. We are, extra level of cleaning, the temperature checks, the mask. We have a separate air filtration system in our medical center versus the rest of the ship. So, we're putting a lot of things in place. Oh, very important. This actually just came out in the last few days, just to make sure everyone knows there are some services we can't do right now. So there are a few services that we are suspending right now. We will bring them back when and if we can. But for now, we had dance host on board. We will not, when we come back, we will not have dance host on our ocean ships. Okay. So we won't have that anymore because, of course, that social distancing piece. Also, we will not have babysitting because our babysitters go into your stateroom. Also, we will not have children's programs at this time. So our children's programs and babysitting, we won't have those services right now. We honestly didn't have a lot of children on board anyway, so it should
your product's real family oriented.
Yeah. I've definitely seen some kids. We see more kids during the holidays, But yeah, so we are suspending that. I don't think it's going to impact a whole lot. One thing that will impact some people is for right now, until we can find out if there's a way to do it, we will not be able to have kosher foods available because we can't bring someone in to bless the food in our galley because we're trying to follow all the guidelines we need to follow. So those 4 things, those are suspended for now until, we see if we can bring those things back. So lots of protocols, lots of things that are going in place. You can always go, I always tell people crystalcruises.com at the top, Crystal Clean Plus, but then scroll down through each and every piece because there's about 12 different things that we discuss on that in that file. And you really want to go into the details so that you can see every single piece of the details. We're working very closely with our companies for shore excursions so that we make sure that they're following all the guidelines as well. Yeah. So, we're working through all of those things, and it'll update. It's a living, breathing document. So it will update as we have to update things. So we're we have a whole team that's working on that.
Okay. Let's talk about your specific job for a minute. You, and I know the answer to this, but our viewers don't. So do you ever go into an agency and help them build a business development plan for their agency? I know I do, like everybody I sit down with. So
yes, absolutely.
If you're like even a solopreneur, tell me what you can do for our solopreneurs out here.
Yeah, I mean, my job is business development. I mean, I am very, very passionate about that. I love working with agencies that are trying to move into a new market and helping them grow that and coming up with a plan. I mean, even if it's just your one individual person, I can help you with that. I can provide training. We'll go through resources and things to help you come up with a plan so that you can move forward. And, I like to keep you accountable too. So I'll pull reports and say, hey, we did this training a few months ago. I haven't even seen a booking yet. What's going on? So I'm here to help you. I'm not just here to say, and here's Crystal, and this is all we have to offer. My job is truly to help develop your business. And if it's something that you want to do and you want to build a partnership and you want to grow and sell Crystal, I am 100% behind you to help you do that and to support you however I can.
What if it belongs to a consortium, a consortia that doesn't have Crystal as a higher commission level? So I feel like I've run into that where my consortia, I think that was one of the things that we discussed. And, now you're going, oh, I don't know. I mean, getting 17 or 18% here, and now we're down to 10 or 11 with you. I feel like it's hard to make that jump over to be like, oh, I really want to grow your product, but then I'm leaving behind a product where I can make substantially more. How do people overcome like that hurdle?
Yeah, it's funny because I actually just went through this with an agency a few months ago, and they were trying to move over from a competitor and really, really wanted to get some people on, to move to Crystal. And what I can do is we can put together kind of some goals and a plan to get to those goals. And then I actually have to go to somebody else to get that commission up to my director of sales. But if I have a plan in place and we have a goal in place, then we can get that commission up for you. And, worst case scenario, you don't hit the goal. And you don't hit the goal, commission has to go back down. But we've tried. We've put it in place so that we can help you get there. We just have to have a good plan in place. We have to have a goal in place and know that it's something that you truly want to work towards. And if you're passionate and you have a plan, then we can work together to get that commission up for you to make it easier to make that transition.
Okay, so outside of social media and using your resources and everything, what does the future look like for somebody marketing your product now? Because we're gonna have to get a lot more creative because, or I know Crystal, you could be in front of a Mercedes-Benz dealership, trying to sell us. I don't know. I'm just throwing out things. But what creative measures can people take to grow their market? And if you're listening right now, throw your questions in because we only have a few more minutes. And this is your big moment with Mary.
Awesome.
The moment with Mary.
It's definitely a lot harder. I think there are a lot of agencies out there that would just have a luxury travel show, and they would go to a country club, or they would go to a car dealership and do those shows. But now you have to be intentional. I mean, it is.
Ooh,
whereas before you could just
intentional.
You do. I mean, you can't just show up somewhere and people are going to show up now. We're just not living in that world right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to find that group of people that maybe they do go to a country club, but you need to find where their commonalities are and how, they like to travel together. So how can I get them together? Okay, are they comfortable meeting somewhere in a small group where we can talk about luxury travel, or do I need to do a Zoom call? I have an agent.
Hold on. How successful have the virtual cruise nights been, so to speak?
I did a few several months ago. People have kind of slowed down the last couple of months, but now they're starting to pick back up again. And every virtual cruise night I have done, there have been bookings off of them. So it may not be huge, large numbers. You may not see 30, 40 people. It may be 10 people, but it's 10 solid people that really, truly want to learn about a product or to hear more. So, I've done several. Like I said, every single one has had a few bookings off of it. And it's just finding the right people to be on the call. I mean, people have approached it different ways. I've had people that have just blasted out their entire database, and we've had several people show up. Then I've had other people that have been very specific, and they have they go and they dig into their segments, and they're like, okay, these are people that have done luxury with me before. These are people that have booked suites on other mass market cruise lines that are out there. These are people that have done luxury land travel, and those are the people they specifically invite to those. So it's really, again, that I like to say, be intentional. Try to find the people that make sense. It's not about just blasting out to everybody and reaching out to everybody. It's really finding the right client, because you just don't want to waste a lot of time. You don't want to waste a lot of time on people that are never going to book luxury travel. You want to find that segment that you think, hey, this might be a good fit for them, and focus on that.
I love that so much, because that means that's really what you're talking about, being intentional. Because I know a lot of agents aren't even doing mailing list, and then the ones that are, I don't really know if they have it broken down into those segments. And so that is just really such a great sales tip to have. Go through your list. You've got time right now, and you may not have time in a month. Now we're closer to maybe.
Now's the time. Now is the time to get it all organized.
Yeah. And the thing that's happening now is, initially when we came out into this COVID crisis of travel, we were scrambling to cancel everything. And then it slowed down a little bit. And then people started working on their business plan. And now I feel like people are really comfortable doing other things in their life, we've adapted to whatever our lifestyle is now. And so you may or may not be working as hard because you feel like, well, this could go on for a few months, so I've got time. But guess what? Now's the time that I think you want to be prepping the stuff so you have it ready.
Right.
Going through your mailing list. And if you don't have that mailing list, it's time to start that mailing list and just jotting down names. And again, Jill Knapp said right here, and she's going back to selling out of your pocket, out of her own pocketbook. She kind of said it reminds her of the Millionaire Next Door book. Some of your most frugal people might be exactly what Mary said. They might be able to afford the product, and maybe that's a jump for them, or maybe it's a once in a lifetime thing, or maybe it's not. Maybe they really could, but they're just not displaying it because they're still driving a Honda Pilot like me. And so, start making a list of those people and segmenting down. I think that is so key. And then you're selling it. You're sending out or even texting out ideas to people. And that's one thing that I'll do is I'll text. I'll just be like, oh, hey, I've got this. We just did something on Sea Dream Yachts, and I just tagged a bunch of people who I thought, hey, this might be a good fit because they're sailing out of Barbados. Now let's go to Crystal for a minute. I mean, will Crystal move any ships to Barbados and sell out of foreign waters, so to speak, than U.S. waters? I mean, if
yeah, you know, it really, right now our itineraries are pretty set.
Yeah.
All the way through actually first quarter 2024. So we don't have anything yet for there. I mean, it could change. I know when everything was happening, we were constantly kind of shifting. So we were originally in October, November, we were supposed to be in Canada, New England. And so we were like, oh, we can't go out of Canada. Now we have to shift. So we moved our ship. We were supposed to go out of Miami in October and go to the Caribbean, do some Miami to San Juan to Miami. We had some great itineraries throughout the Caribbean. And then the no sail order came out and was extended. So, you know, we will shift as we need to, if we have to. But right now our itineraries are pretty set. But like I said, we shift as we need to. I was kind of shocked when we did make that change, but you know, we wanted to get sailing again. And then stop. So, but we will go again for sure.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Tell me what your final I'm just trying to get into my group here. I'm running like about 16 devices here, my iPad, because that's the only way I can see the comments. Tell me kind of can you just wrap it up for me a little bit?
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knows about a major change it's not a major change. There's a change that's happening. A couple months ago, we went to 90-day option periods.
Okay.
So that's going to change. So I know a lot of people, that was where people were like, oh, what's happening with Crystal? No deposits for 90 days. So we just took a pause. We're working through our refunds. And so we are actually on September 21st, we're going to go to 30-day option periods. So now 30 days, no deposits. So, you know, just keep that in mind. We've got so many great itineraries that are out there. We just put some things out there for the Monaco Grand Prix in 2022. So we're really excited about traveling again and excited to have our guests back on board. So, you know, feel free to reach out if you want to work together on how to grow your business with Crystal. I'm here to help. Whatever you need, I'm here.
Okay, I do have a quick question from my text.
Yeah.
If you could do a lineup of cruise lines, where do you guys fall in terms of, you know, could you rank like maybe 5 of the majors, and, you know, would it be like you're up here premium luxury or premium, or where do you rank? And let's just go to the river cruises for one second. Okay.
So we're AMA Waterways, you know, we're that top premium or top luxury cruise line. We are truly a luxury cruise line, everything all inclusive. So I've seen some people do some shifting from like AMA Waterways over to Crystal, because we've had some amazing Crystal River cruise pricing over the last few months. So, you know, that's a great move over. So
and what about like Talk and Uniworld? Where would you compare with those two?
We're all the same, all that same level, that luxury level.
Okay. So, and let's go to Ocean for a minute for all of, you know, everybody that needs orientation here for a minute. Where would you compare on luxury? Who would be your competitors for people?
Yep. So Regent, Oceana, those are going to be our major competitors for the Ocean.
Okay. And real quick, any benefits in booking a group?
Yeah, definitely. So on our ocean cruises, well, really on all of our cruises, we do have groups available. It's our tour conductor credit is for every 9 passengers. The 10th passenger is free, so 1 for 9. On our ocean cruises, you do have a $200 per person's shipboard credit. On our river cruises, $125 shipboard credit. Some of your consortium amenities might be better than that, so you can certainly choose to use that instead. On our river cruises and on our yacht, just to note, we do max out the 1 for 9 TC. There's only 1 per agency, just because they're small ships, and we only have, you know, just over 100 guests on our river ships. So we do max that out for those.
Right, you've got to pay for somebody to go on that with you. Yeah. Real quick, the dying question everybody will want to know is fam trips and agent rates? Are those going to be a thing of the past, or should we?
No, not at all. Actually, we do have in our Partner Resource Center, we are posting, any agent rates that we have available. So you can always feel free to go in. There's a form that you can fill out. They'll usually send that over to me or to whoever your SBDM is, and just make sure, hey, is this an actual agent? Like, who are they? What's their production? We kind of check those things out. We want to vet you, make sure you're actually wanting to sell, Crystal, and not just go on a really cheap cruise. So we do take a look
at production, because you really don't know the brand. I mean, I always think new agents, not just new agents, but new agents to your product really benefit.
We do, and we don't just look at production. It's really a matter of talking to SBDM and making sure that's why they come to us, because if they just looked at production, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't have any idea who this person is, and if they're, a viable agent, someone that the SBDM has been working with. So even if you haven't made a booking, we can get you approved to go on those agent rates. Fam trips, I mean, if we start sailing again, I would love to do fam trips.
But a neighborhood fam.
That would be great. I would love to do one, because I've been with Crystal 10 months, and I've been on our 2 ocean ships, but I've not been on our river ships yet. And I would love, we've all been scheming as a sales team.
You literally switched over like at about the worst time ever. And so I feel like you feel everybody's pain, because I mean, if you get through this, like the rest of your life's going to be like,
Definitely.
So I love having Mary Trotter on today from Crystal Cruise Lines. We put her in the hot seat to ask her questions all throughout this. And little do you know that she is a performer of musical theater as well. So we're going to leave you with a song. No, I'm just kidding. She is a performer, though. She is very talented. So reach out to me. I'm Angela Hughes, luxury travel entrepreneur. I've got my links for Trips and Ships Luxury Travel, and also join my group, Luxury Travel Social Media and Marketing, where we help grow and develop your luxury travel business. So tune in next week. We have tons of great people on here all of the time. So thanks, Mary, for joining us.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.